Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. It's Wednesday, April the 20th, 2022. I don't know if that matters or not. But right now, myself, my dog, Benaiah, and my mustache are coming to you from the top of Sperry Road in Dorchester, Texas, aka the Dorch. Today's a big day for me because I'm getting ready to wrap up my 75 Hard challenge. For the past 75 days, I've been doing this challenge where you have to do a series of tasks every single day. And so I thought to wrap this thing up, I would do like this day in the life video and put it out there for your enjoyment. Maybe for some of you who are taking on this challenge, it'll be a help to you. One of the things you have to do, or I guess two of the things you have to do on 75 Hard every single day is you have to do 2 workouts in addition to some other things. You have to do 2 workouts. They have to be at least 45 minutes long, and one of those workouts has to be outside no matter what the conditions are. So I did my 75 Hard challenge during the winter months here in North Texas, so that meant a lot of cold mornings, some rainy mornings. It meant running on the ice and sleet, or in the ice and sleet, for a handful of days here and there, month and a half ago or so. So you got to do it. So this morning it's about 5:30 now. It's dark. It's been rainy off and on during the night, and right now it's like it has been for the past couple weeks, crazy windy again. So got to go out there and do it. I'm going for a run. Probably get about 10 miles in this morning. Benaiah's itching to go. That's why he's pacing back and forth. He's wondering why it's taking so long. So what I do, I get up, we drive to this spot. I drink some of my water. We'll talk about water later. I drink a little bit of coffee, and then we go out there and we get it done. So that's what we're gonna do this morning. 75 Hard. Let's wrap it up. Talk to you later. Bye. You ready? I know. You want to go. He wants to go. Let's go running. Here we are. Good to see you again. Another one of the requirements for 75 Hard is that you must drink a gallon of water every single day. This has been probably the hardest part of this journey for me. It's simple. It's just water, but it's way more water than I would have consumed in the past. So I typically have a bottle like this, and it's 32 ounces. So I drink 4 of them a day. I start very early. I try to drink anywhere from 16 to 20 ounces as soon as I get up in the morning, and then I'm just steadily drinking it throughout the morning and throughout the afternoon. I like to get done with it, with I like to finish the gallon before 5 o'clock so that I'm not going to the bathroom all night long. This has been the toughest part. All right, guys, here we are. I'm at my hometown gym, Core Fit, for my second workout of the day. So today is a lighter on the lower body, doing some front squats, and then I'm gonna do some heavy on the upper body, incline press, and then every day I try to do pull-ups and dips in between. So that's what I'm doing here, getting it done. Last day, here we go. Out. Here we go. Lunchtime. Let's talk about the diet. It's good to see you again. Another element, another requirement to the 75 Hard challenge is picking and sticking to a diet. So here's my lunch, late lunch, early dinner. I don't know how you want to kind of eat at weird times. I'll talk about this later at the end of the video when I talk about like the why behind my doing this. But the diet after the water, the diet was the next hardest thing for me. The workouts were really not that big of a deal. I was already doing a couple of workouts a day. Reading, talk about that later, not a big deal. But the water and the food was, the diet was definitely the big deal. I didn't do 75 hard to lose weight. I did it for other reasons that I'll talk about later. But you have to pick a diet. So I chose to eliminate, we'll call them anti-inflammatory foods from my diet. So no refined sugar, no added sugar, no gluten, no simple carbohydrates, basically nothing from the middle of the grocery store. Oh, hi, welcome back. Didn't realize you were here. Welcome to my study. Another central component to the 75 hard challenge is reading. You are required as a participant to read 10 pages every day from a non-fiction book. More specifically, the book is supposed to be under the genre of self-improvement. Some might say self-help. I think it's a pretty broad category, but it has to be nonfiction. You have to actually read the pages. You can't listen to it. You can't do something like Audible or listen to a book online. You have to sit down, pick up a book, a physical, actual book, and read the pages. And it needs to be, a book that will help you, stretch you, inform you, maybe help you reach some sort of goal that you have in business or personally. All right, welcome back. We're gonna wrap this up. That was the very last of my gallon of water for the day, so finish that. I want to wrap up this video by talking about what I think is the most important part of one successfully completing 75 hard, and that's the why. Why do this? I was fortunate in that 75 days ago, I began this journey, and I never had a day when I failed to complete a task. So I started day one, and here we are 75 days later, and I'm done. I've done it all for today, so it feels pretty stinking cool. The only thing I need to avoid, I guess, is cheating on my diet or something like that, which I'm not going to do. I've got a lot of unhealthy food planned for tomorrow, so I can wait it out a few more hours until tomorrow gets here. A lot of people struggle, and they'll get a few days in, they may even get 30 days in, and something happens, and they don't complete one of their tasks, or they eat something that they're not supposed to eat, and so that means they've got to start all the way back at day one if they want to go again. You can't just say, hey, I messed up today, tomorrow's a new day, I'll do day 34 again or something. It doesn't work that way. You've got to start all the way back at day one. So if you're several weeks or say 50 days in, that's quite substantial. And I think the reason some people struggle, not all people, but some people struggle is because they don't have a good why. If you're doing 75 hard to lose weight, I can almost guarantee you that you won't make it. This challenge is not for people who just want to lose weight. A lot of people do, and that's great. That's wonderful. But if that's all that it is, I think it's going to prove to be too much. There are other diets, there are other plans that you can work and do if you're wanting to shed 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. I don't know that this is designed for people who are just looking to lose weight. So what was my why? As I've thought through that, I've arrived at three things. Number one, I did 75 Hard Challenge because I was just curious. I learned about it through a podcast. I wasn't seeking out a challenge, but I was listening to a podcast um, by this guy named Chad Wright, who I listen to quite a bit, almost weekly. He runs a podcast, a ministry, if you will, called 3 of 7, that he does himself, and he was being interviewed on somebody else's podcast named Andy Frisella, and it was through Andy's podcast that I learned of 75 Hard that Andy himself had come up with. So started hearing about it and did some research and became curious, and I just thought to myself, is that something I could do? Is that something that I could complete? So just naturally curious, number one. Number two, after doing kind of a hard self-assessment, a radical self-inventory of my life, it was painfully obvious to me that I had become addicted to sugar. I'm a runner, as a lot of you know, and I enjoy exercise. And so I think I had just convinced myself that it was okay to eat as much sugar as I was eating because I would just run it off. It's nothing for me to run 10 to 15 miles a day. So I just sort of thought, well, if I'm doing that, then I can eat whatever I want. And I think that worked, even as far back as a few years ago, but it stopped working for me. I was having a ton of inflammation, a ton of joint pain, some stomach problems, some skin issues, and I just realized, hey, I can't do this anymore. And I would try to give up sugar for, I did it for Lent a couple of years ago. That's like 40-ish days, and that worked. But then I would try but then as soon as that was over, I'd go right back to it. And I've tried off and on at other times, and I might get, a week in, maybe a couple of weeks in, and then something stressful would happen. And this is what I learned about myself. Whenever a stressful day would occur, the first thing I was reaching for was like a package of gummy bears. I was like, I would consume gummy bears when stressed the way that a chain smoker would, reach for a cigarette. So it was not healthy. I was like stashing and hiding packages of gummy bears that my wife and kids would find around the house or in one of our cars. It was just sad and ridiculous. So I needed to make a radical change as far as that was concerned. So that's why I did this, and it was hard. It was so hard. Some people say if you need to stop a bad habit, start a new habit, you need like 21 days. It took me way longer than 21 days to kick those sugar cravings. And there's still days, like yesterday was a really stressful day. We had to put our car in the shop and found out that was going to be pretty expensive. It's going to be pretty expensive to repair. And that would have been a day in the past where I would have just like gorged myself on gummy bears and ice cream or cookies or something like that. And then, I tried to pacify myself by saying, well, I ran X number of miles today, so I'm all good. I don't want to live that way anymore. I'm not craving sugar like I once did. I'll work some of it back in for like special occasions, but I'm not going to use it as a coping mechanism or something like that. I don't have to have dessert or have to have something sweet to nibble on at night anymore. I'm confident that those days are in the rearview mirror. And then thirdly, my why for 75 Hard, a little bit deeper, is this. I think I'm 42 years old, and had arrived at a place in life where I was just frustrated with where I was at. Kind of struggled with some professional things, as a minister, as a pastor, was struggling just kind of life stage wise. I always thought I'd be a little further along at 42 than I am, and it was just painfully obvious to me that I needed something to help jumpstart a change in my life, and this seemed like the perfect thing. It came along at the right time. So I think I had gotten to a place where I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to see a project through or to finish something that was difficult. And this has shown me that, you know what, I still can. When difficult assignments come, difficult projects come, I can still endure, I can persevere. I can see it through. And so I appreciate this challenge for that reason. So, all right, that's it. 75 Hard is behind me. I'm thinking and praying about like what they call phase 1 and phase 2. If you do phase 1, you've got to wait, I think, about 30 days. So I'll be thinking about that. Would I do 75 Hard again in the future? Yeah, I think so. It takes a lot for sure. And it also, it asks a lot of those who are close to you. So I want to thank my wife, Elisha, and my kids, because there were times when they had to probably eat differently. Certainly times with the workouts when they probably had to wait on me a little bit longer than they would normally have in order for us to go somewhere. So I can't thank them enough. I know from hearing from others online who have tried 75 Hard, the impact that it takes on those around you can be substantial. So that is true. So I'm grateful for a supportive wife and a supportive family. But in the future, I think I would try it again if the timing was right. If I needed again another jump start, or if I felt myself getting soft in some way, shape, or form, I think I would. I think I would do it again. If this is, you know, in some way, shape, or form, caused you to think to yourself, I'd like to try that, then please do not hesitate to reach out to me through social media, or if you're a friend watching this and you want some pointers, holler at me, and we'll sit down together and I'll unpack this even further for you. This has shown me, and I'm still kind of working this out, that I do want to play some sort of role in helping people meet their goals and helping people, you know, get out of a pit or get out of a rut. So I'm trying to figure out what that might look like for me. But if this has, not me, but if this challenge has inspired you to take the first step, then go for it. Resource yourself, do the research, and then just get after it. I think anybody can do this. I really do. I truly believe that. Nobody's workout has to look like somebody else's workout. Nobody's, just because this person over here is doing that diet doesn't mean you've got to do that diet. There are different ways to handle this, to go about this. So, as my wife has told me and has told others, you go out there and you be awesome. Life is short. Enjoy the little thing. That's it.